Alright, so I'm a 1200 rank MMR player. I want to make some videos to show what the middle of the MMR play looks like. I think that's kind of interesting to watch for everybody. And this matchup is very similar starts. It's Sledges and Chaff headbutting each other. Let's go ahead and watch it. I'm Groundhog, watching my own replay. I'm going to be on the bottom as usual. Let's do quick deploy. So this is pretty much a headbutt of almost the same units practically. They've got more Fangs, I've got more crawlers. One thing to note that makes this different, not quite a mirror match, is this guy likes, you can tell because he's got the armor piercing bullets that he's going to want to go, people who do this typically like to go carry Sledge. I don't do carry Sledge, but I use Sledges as much as I can in every game in my starting comp and just push them. Mine are more adaptable. I don't push the carry Sledge. And that difference will certainly make a play, will be seen played out in this match. Both of these Sledges are getting good EXP, which is good if you want to make them carry, but I like to level up mine too. I don't make them carry and win the game, but I make them put my opponent in an awkward position so that something else can win the game. Because I really don't think a Sledgehammer carry is going to be that much of a win condition on its own. Anyway, we can just skip the round 2. This is not much. So let's take a look at the unit drop. I'm going to pause it so we can see this. Looking at this, Marksman makes a lot of sense. I figured he might probably go with that anyway, because you can put these damage dealers and pretty much finish up your composition. You know, you want some chaff, some frontline armor, and some damage dealers behind those Sledges, because they will really wipe out the other Sledges. You put some marksman here, and that just gives this side so much of an advantage, right? Oh, by the way, he's aerial specialist, I forgot to say, and I'm saber-tooth specialist. But I also know that the rank 2 Tarantula really just crushes Sledges actually better than the marksman. It's got the HP and chaff clear, and it kills them actually faster than the marksman. It is 200 worth of units versus 100, so that makes sense, but it's just so good. So I had to get that. Yeah, and he got the marksman. Right, so you can see he gets the marksman. I'm putting this one here. It's just going to do good stuff. I sell off my my saber-tooth immediately. It's of no use here. It's just nothing for it to really do. Which gives me like an infusion of 300 credits on round 2. It's kind of good. Really 200, but it's still I get to keep the upgrade here. So I think that's pretty decent for my economy. Wow, so look at that. I've already got my 4 Sledges up and he's at 2. So yeah, that was quite a difference in economy right there. So basically this guy's going to bully everyone on the side of the map, and you can see what a difference that guy made, how strong that was. Yeah, we both pick... Let's take a look at that again, actually. I'm going back to round 3. Just want to slow it down and pause it. The UI is a bit not quite there yet. All right. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I was thinking Elite Hacker because I know this guy wants to push sledges, and these are, on paper, these are good against sledges, but I've seen where not everything counters things in a vacuum. If something gets out of hand with its leveling or tech, what you originally thought or heard was a good meta counter no longer counters it. So I've seen before where they really push carry sledges hard, and the hackers don't do enough, even if they're level 3 or 4 or 5. It just doesn't scale right. This might be good against like a group of sledges randomly, but if they're pushing carry sledges, this is actually not good. This one makes the most sense for me to take, and it's just kind of meta. So yeah, we both take supply enhancement. Right, so I'm leveling up. So I got my sledges out sooner than he did. Mine have already got levels, which is great. You really don't want to get far behind and have him get the levels before you do if he's doing carry sledges, or just in general. You don't want him to level up his carry units. Right, so he's getting extended range because I think that's the meta. It's like on paper, everyone says you've got to get the range for your carry units, they'll get experience better, and I think that's a major wrong turn in this match for him. Like, okay, so you give them range, but what's going to be in front of them to tank? Chaff? Not really, not for long. So what's the point? It doesn't do anything. They don't really level faster. It doesn't really protect them. It gives them a minor advantage where my tanks have to just drive up a little closer, and then the two just lock onto each other anyway. So then he has no advantage. It gives him like a small damage increase. Like maybe he gets one shot off extra. But like he gets like a half shot off. So basically he's getting like maybe 600 extra damage. That's practically nothing one time. He would have been so much better if he had pressed Mech Rage, because his attack interval going down by like, that's like a 33% increase in his attack. That would have been better, and it gives him better chaff clear too. Shooting more frequently is very good. Watch it, pay attention closely to see what the range actually achieves. Alright, so the range causes his tanks to stop here and just create a line, which is pointless. I don't see any advantage of that. My tanks will just keep driving up until they see something, right? So they drive up a little bit further anyway. See, mine are still driving. Yeah, mine are kind of moving in with the chaff, whereas the chaff just kind of run past them. Alright, so there's a little bit, it's kind of cool how here the tanks can shoot from afar. That's a minor deal, but I don't think it's that good. Because see, all things equal, we're both going to win the chaff war around the same time, because we have such similar comps. That then my tanks just have to drive up for about the same amount of time that they can fire off one volley. But if I have Mech Rage, I'll clear the chaff faster, drive up faster too, and then do more damage once these two lock on and headbutt each other. And I don't even have Mech Rage yet. I don't bother to get it for a while. And yeah, you can see what a difference this unit here makes on the left. Yeah, that went by real quick. Can't see what it is. And forget it. Not much important showed up anyway. He picked some greedy thing. He picked, oh yeah. He picked this, whereas I skipped. So, not a good economic choice for him on round 4. He's not going to get the money back from that until later. So that was a misplay. Because this is Sledge versus Sledge, levels are pretty important. It looks like I'm getting ahead on the level game, but look at this, he's got a level 3, which is pretty nice. And also, you know, take a look at what a difference a good unit can do. This is preventing these guys from leveling well, whereas on this side, already level 3. So, you know, that was a good pick. So, okay, yeah, so I know this is an issue with him trying to get these guys leveled up. I don't want them to level up for 2 reasons. Yeah, one, it could get out of hand once they get levels. I don't think Carry Sledge is good, but you know, still. But if I can delay what he thinks is his win condition, he'll just waste more rounds on a strategy that's not working, and this gives me a pretty big advantage. Anyway, Fangs are pretty good against Sledges in a way. Definitely better than crawlers. You know, just they don't all run up and get shot in the same spot in the same kill zone, so they're a little bit more spread out, and they kind of like make a lateral line, which is harder, takes longer to kill. And when you give them the shield, these guys are not good at chaff clear. So when you make the chaff hard to kill, then they really struggle, and that's what we'll see in this round. Oh, and maybe even more important, these guys are buddies. It's good to have chaff that go along with your tanks instead of chaff that run past them or your tanks run past them. But you do want usually mixed chaff is pretty good. So his sledges are just shooting the units that they're already kind of good against, which is the crawlers. Still pretty much crawlers being shot at right now. Now we're switching over. Now watch, I've got 2 groups of chaff flooding in, which is great. You want your chaff just to kind of keep dripping in like that. That's good. Well, they're not ideal because these guys are being shot here. So maybe next time put guys over here too, maybe would probably be good. Don't all put them in this sort of central hall here, which I did. So even the side on the right's winning now because of the shielded Fangs and denying these guys, slowing them down, preventing them from getting more and more levels. See, this is not level. It's not going to be able to get to level 3. Yeah, so the meta is that people say this advanced tactics is so good you have to get it, so that's what I do, that's what he does. I don't really see much point in this other stuff, so yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've already got 2 level 3, 2 2s. He's got 2 2s, a 3, and a 1. So I'm winning the XP war. It looks like he got Stormcallers, which make a lot of sense since I have a lateral, you know, group of sledges to absorb it. Stormcallers mostly counter sledges, but not quite actually. And also these guys are only level 1, so I think this is not going to do that much damage to these sledges actually. He might be doing this because he's afraid of the Fangs, and he might be thinking of getting fire. It's probably more of a response to the Fangs, but it is also kind of good against the tanks. That makes sense. But he's got a really heavy ground crew here. He's got 1 marksman, 2 marksmen. Only things that can shoot at the ground. I mean, at the air. Yeah, so in hindsight, making this hallway of Fangs that drip into the same point, not that good. It creates a good wall for these guys here on the outside, but probably better next time to put someone on the left and right. Plus, it's pretty dumb because if he has like a Vulcan here, they'll all just conveyor belt into the Vulcan and die, or Typhoons or something like that, or even Mustangs. Yeah, not that good. This is some rank, 1200 MMR gameplay, so it's kind of neat to see the misplays. Yeah, I should probably sell that tarantula. Didn't really. Wow, these shields are just so effective. And they're just level 1 Fangs. I'm not doing Fang carry. I don't even think I ever leveled them. Some things don't make any sense to get. The Rhino would be good to sell off, but yeah, you could probably do like a lateral flank with it. Sandworm doesn't make any sense for me. I don't play them anyway. The Wraith makes a lot of sense because for both him and me. I was figuring he's probably going to get the Wraith, but I think he got the Vulcan instead. I got the Wraith because it's level 3. And I've got, I have a tarantula here doing chaff clear, but I want more chaff clear. So that makes the most sense to me. And because he's already weak to air, and he's aerial spec anyway, so I figure he's probably going to do some pivoting to air because he has nothing that can shoot air practically. So at least this can shoot air. And as a Sledge player, I tend to transition to air as my anti-air. So this makes the most sense to me, but he picked Vulcan. Maybe because he was going to get some upgrades to it, and I'm not really sure what his reasoning is. Probably because he wants to do better against chaff. I mean, he's having problems with chaff, so that's probably why he picked it. Oh, I think I did this round. This is the round I did it. So I realized I've got all these sledges, but I haven't given them an upgrade. So the way the game, works is that the scaling of the upgrades multiplies with the scaling of the tech upgrade. So typically, if you have leveled units, you want to give them some force multiplier, because it's like, it's kind of like doing 5 times 5 instead of just having 5. You get up with a big number, basically. These guys have increased their attack, and now you're going to multiply how quickly they shoot. It gets kind of out of hand. So I don't want to just leave them there unupgraded. So I give them Mech Rage, because I didn't think that this was helping anyone on either side. It just doesn't really make sense. Yeah, you could put shielded Fangs in them and have them be kind of like a tank, but I just don't think carry Sledge is that good. Like you're trying to save them or something and prevent them from dying. It's dumb. It doesn't. I just don't think range is good. Mech Rage is good. And as we get later into the later rounds of 6, these deployables are pretty important to use. They're just good economy to get good value. Yeah, so I've got some Wraiths here trying to beef up my air presence, my anti-air. Wraiths aren't not that good against actual air threats like Overlords, but we'll see what they do, right? You can always sell them off. And this one's doing pretty decent, but it is level 3, so that's not surprising. Oh, he gave his Mech Rage too. So the tanks are pretty much even. His just have more range, which doesn't do much. Oh, I want to watch that pick. I have to kind of screw with this. Here, go round 6. And go to round 7. We're going back to round 7. I have to do this so I can pause the game to look at the tech picks. I'm pausing it. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. We both pick Nano Repair Kit. Fine, whatever. So I'm going to make this guy, he's level 3, put an item on him. It makes sense, right? Make him kind of strong. So we're both getting Overlords. That's not a unit drop, I just unlocked it because I know I want to make a pivot to air. He's aerial spec, so it costs him nothing to do that. And it's just kind of standard, Sledge and boats is might not be meta oppressive, but it's typically what I do every game. It's probably what he does most games too. We just basically have some differences of opinion about carry sledges versus more utility sledges. It's just kind of interesting how this match started off like a mirror match and it's continuing its way through like a mirror match. Why did I get that? I must have thought that he was going to get smoke or something like that, I think. And so the idea was that this would eat the smoke bombs so that I don't just sit and smoke for 2 rounds. Oh, and I sold the other Wrath over here because he just ran in and died. Yeah, this looks like such a mirror match 2 overlords here, 2 overlords over there. He's got aerial specs, so that helps his more. And for those wondering, like, why this comp, what's special about it, it's basically your sledges are like your HP wall, your tanks. And they also do chaff clear too. And your damage dealers are your overlords. And overlords have a lot of tech side grades, like they can even make chaff too. It's got a lot of interesting things they can do. Okay, since this is an interesting one, so the Scorpions can really, you get 2 of them too, and they're tier 2, can really destroy, really counter Sledges and Fire Badgers pretty well. I'm figuring he's probably going to pick Farseer because it's like the anti-air pivot. So much of this, well, yeah, these guys can shoot air, but not that great. Fangs can shoot air, but they're not that great at anti-air. Yeah, the pivot to anti-air, I'm thinking he's probably going to pick Farseer. And I'm picking Scorpion. It's just too effective. Right, so he picked that Farseer. I don't really care. I don't think they're that good against boats. Alright, so I'm putting my Scorpions more to the left. I guess it's because they're less likely to shoot the chaff that funnels into the center here, maybe, and they're more likely just to shoot these tanks here and wipe them up. I'm going to definitely level up my overlords because it's a race. Once these things get nice and leveled, you give them, they scale and just do a lot of damage. That's a win condition. So I'm definitely going to level that up when I get the option to. We'll never skip that. He's doing the same. He's got 2 more boats. What am I doing? I don't get 2 more boats. Oh, I got the beacon. I got 1 more boat. So on paper, he's got an advantage. He's got more overloads. His overloads get a buff from aerial spec, 13 and 13. So his has got 36k. Mine's got oh, wrong unit. It's got an upgrade on it. Mine's got 46. Oh, I guess I've done a better job of leveling up this here. Oh. Whoops. My economy has been stronger this game, so. Oh, so now I actually have 4 and 4. Yeah, it's such a mirror match. So I lost the last one. I'm not exactly sure why. Yeah, those Scorpions did pretty good work. I think those Scorpions, you can just kind of see like his army on the outside is pretty much disappeared way faster than the one on the middle. So those Scorpions probably flipped this round from unfavored to favored. So it's just interesting how the unit drop can completely change you from I was losing to now I just won this round by a huge margin. Just a simple unit drop. Just one picking of a unit drop. And positioning. You have to position them right too. You don't want them just shooting chaff. And you know, a lot of people think that the storm crawlers are like OP. I've got to get anti-missile, you know, but I think that's its own trap because now you're putting economy into shooting missiles into the sky, which doesn't kill your enemies, and your units like would just get stuck shooting into the sky at nothing. Okay, the amplifying core looks good. Yeah, we both get the same amplifying core. So it's like he wanted to fill the ground with fire. Seems pretty common, like your overlords fly, they can't get hit with fire. I guess he's struggling with the fangs and he thinks this will give him an advantage in just chaff and etc. If he can, I guess if he can win the ground and chaff war, kill the tanks first, and he can start targeting the overlord. That's pretty much it. That makes sense as a win condition. Oh, also for some reason I got range. I think before he got range, right? And he didn't even have range last round, so that also hurt him too, probably last round. So I got the range last round, and then this round I get overlord because these guys are nice and leveled. So the overlord, overload, launcher overload combined with their levels makes them very, very strong. They really get out of hand once you do that. See, there's the overload. This guy's got, and they've got some items too. I mean, this guy's got like attack core, so that's just crazy. And this guy can heal, so it makes him a little tanky. And he's level 3. And he's behind in levels and techs because of his economy not being as strong.